who's this balloon having a go at me? Wait, why'd I put up with this? He said, will someone tell that excuse for a radio presenter, Brazil, that is called Premier League, not the Premiership? Oh, away you go.
Well,
You're picking me up on things like that.
He's got a point. Alan, I'm with you, mate.
What's his name? Alan looking through the keyhole.
Alan, fair point, my lad. If you're going to do it right.
You said that a couple of times as well.
No, that's Premier League.
Some of the ones I could read out about you, I don't.
Premier League, it's always been the Premier League, mate.
What?
The talkSPORT Clips of the Week.
Yeah, Clips of the Week time. And we're going to kick off this week, as we have many times over the years, with Alan Brazil.
What a surprise.
Who has Europa League news.
Raul Jimenez put Wolves on the brink of the Europa League knockout stage. His injury time strike secured victory against Slovan Bratislava. Tanak Musalava.
Who are they?
I got no idea.
Sam Allardyce on Breakfast Now, chatting to Alan Brazil about Frank Lampard.
Had his first year experience at Derby, and in all fairness, I mean, he's taken to it like, what is the old saying, like a duck out in water, out of water, whatever it might be.
A duck out of water is, I mean, look, they can
survive.
They're fine out of water,
the
but I think they do prefer, they like the option of water. So a duck out of water is not particularly a compliment. And also struggling with a well-known phrase or saying this week was Georgie Bingham talking Arsenal.
Empty seats yesterday would have been an issue for Arsenal, and that might be something that the Cronkies might pay attention to when people start to walk with their feet.
I think that's often the best way to walk, isn't it, really, with your feet?
And staying with the Gunners, here's Motti commentating on their game against Wolves.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a substitution now, isn't there? Looks as though Ruben Viagra is the obvious choice, because he is he is a fullback, really.
Ruben Viagra?
He certainly stiffened up the back foot.
Oh, come on, it's a tap-in, isn't it? It's a tap-in. Jimenez like tap-in.
It was.
So anyway, it's time to talk fishing now.
Fisherman's Blues with Nigel Bothaway on talkSPORT 2.
Rob Thompson.
God, made me jump.
Right.
Real Halloween clip, wasn't it? God, frightened the life out of me, Nigel, with that one.
Anyway.
Nigel likes to start the show, doesn't he, Annie, with a famous fishing-related quotation or poem. And this week's was quite unusual.
Yes.
Sometimes too early, sometimes too late. Sometimes no water, sometimes in spate. Sometimes too dirty, sometimes too clear. There's always something wrong when I'm fishing here.
Yeah, there is something wrong. There's no water.
Not going to work, is it?
Fish flapping about on the riverbed. Terrible way to go.
Like a fish in or out or on water.
Was it water? Ducks in or out of water.
And it's pretty clear that Drive co-host Darren Bent is bringing a younger audience to the show.
Definitely.
In the 2016-17 UEFA Champions League season, which Brazilian playmaker provided the most assists while playing for Barcelona?
It's good, and I think
Did he do well?
It was the right answer,
I think
and it's great getting that younger audience, I think, to drive. I think Adrian went into a rant about why is he not in bed? Put that kick to bed. 08717. Back to Alan Brazil and Jamie O'Hara, in this case, discussing Arsenal's potential next manager.
If Unai goes, Mourinho, would he be taken?
If they don't want Mourinho, they want Wenger back. Who else of that calibre is out there at the moment?
You'd have to say Eddie Howe.
Who?
Yeah, you know what? I've not heard of him either. That's what I was to the producer. John, have you? No, he's just Googled him. Apparently he's the Bournemouth manager.
Yeah.
He's been there.
Has it been a short time?
No, he's been there. Do you know what? It passes you by, doesn't it?
It does.
Sometimes a bloke can do a job like that. It's not, and Al, I don't blame you, mate. It's not a name that's familiar to me either. Eddie Howe.
Now,
what's next?
It's the legendary Sir Viv Richards on this show giving us two great managers in one.
You know, when you have all those guys, David Fairclough and Steven Gerrard and that modern day sort of generation to where they're at now with Jurgen Klopp and what he would have achieved.
I love Jurgen Klopp.
I'd like to think Jurgen Klopp's going to start wearing green tracksuit tops. It'll be great, yeah.
Be good.
Young man. So, next, staying with great managers, Alan Brazil is so Scottish football, even when he's talking to the TV chef and restaurateur Rick Stein.
I'm on the East Coast, so we go down to Southwold, Aldeburgh, down there a lot.
Great fish there, great local fish. Because of course I've filmed down there with, and you know, there's not the quantity, but the quality is sensational.
So Rick Stein's, secret friends.
Jock Stein, he probably goes down that route, doesn't he? So Scottish football is Alan when he gets going.
Nice. Back to Fisherman's Blues now, where Nigel strayed onto his other great love, rugby.
But I did notice that Siya Kolisi, South Africa's first ever black captain, was born on June the 16th. And by a strange quake of fate, he was born the day before apartheid was abolished.
That was close. I was right. Abolished. He nearly went. That nearly
strange
got.
Quake of fate.
A strange quake of fate. The Reverend Spooner. Fantastic. Old two Ronnie's classic.
One, isn't it?
What's next, Andy? Oh, it's me, isn't it? Yeah. Adrian Durham and Alvin Martin chatting about Chelsea.
It's about how those young players, the mentality, bounce back from that and perform in this game.
Well, I think young players do, Adrian. I think they're full of youthfulness.
It would be, wouldn't it?
I suppose as young players, you're going to be full of something. Be full of youthfulness.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's back to Big Alan with a new word on us.
Paper's making a big hula-bala about England not winning their runners-up medals.
Have you ever heard of a hula-bala?
Never heard of a hula-bala.
Is it Kepa Hula-Balaga?
That's the boy.
It could be him. Isn't it? Who? So, this is Max Rushton hosting Extra Time live from Australia and getting Bart Simpson.
This is from Norma Snockers, who says, "Hi Max, I'm just checking in for the dead hour on a ferry between the North Island and the South Island of New Zealand."
Got caught out there, didn't he?
I won't repeat
Moe's Tavern. Norma. Well done, Norma.
Well done,
You're proud
Norma.
of yourself.
We get a lot of those. This is Jake Robson with an interesting championship stat.
Incidentally, they've had 7 penalties now, Preston North End, this season in the Championship. They've scored all 6.
Hey? What happened to the other one?
Yeah, what happened to the other one?
Yeah, they scored that one as well.
Yeah, one more from Fisherman's Blues, and Nigel had news of the premier fishing competition in this country.
The winner of the Fishermania Grand Final next year, as always, will net a cool £50,000. The runner-up will take home £50,000.
Well, what's the point then? You might as well finish second.
You might as well.
Really? The money's the same, isn't it? Clearly.
What about the bloke who finishes third?
£50,000. What do you have to come in 10th? £50,000. Well, it sounds like a great company. Barry Hearn, I don't know what the model is for that, but anyway. What's next, Andy, the final?
It's Cammy on Breakfast discussing his musical ambitions.
It's the last thing on my bucket list to sing with Elton John.
Oh, yeah?
He's my hero. I met him 2 years ago at Vicarage Road. His 2 Littlands were mascots that day.
Yeah.
And I got wind in the media room.
That's not good, Cammy, is it?
Quite a small room.
Yeah. And that's not going to... Elton's not going to be keen on that, is he? Not going to be keen on that.
No.
Well, I say him finally, but actually we've got one more clip for you because a couple of weeks ago on talkSPORT, Georgie and Cass were doing the kind of music quiz that they always do. And this little...
Time tunnel, isn't it?
Yeah, time tunnel. This little moment happened. So have a listen to this.
Come on, you can do it. Come on, so turn it off now. I don't want to give him the answer.
Lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Yeah.
Right,
you got the song title.
That was...
Cat, it's one of the best bands ever.
Is it Nicky? What's the lead singer called?
Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks, that's it. Stevie Nicol.
Yeah, Stevie Nicol was the lead singer of Fleetwood Mac. So we heard that clip and we thought, well, look, we could... Shall we call Steve Nicol up, the brilliant, one of the Liverpool legend defenders, Scotland, Liverpool player, fantastic player, who's now a broadcaster in the States. Shall we call Stevie Nicol up and see if he's prepared to sing a Fleetwood Mac song? And everybody kind of looked around the room and said, well, he's not going to do that. There's no way in a million years would Steve Nicol do that, would he?
Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon begin. It'll begin better than before. Yesterday's gone. Yesterday's gone. Ooh. Don't you look back.
It's a no from me, I'm afraid. No. You're not coming to London.
Don't you look back.
What a great sport. Good old Steve. God
Thanks
bless
very
you,
much
Steve.
for
Thanks
that.
very much for doing that. He'll be singing a song from Tusk next week, I think. Just which one you tell us you quite like. So there we are. There's your clips of the week. Jamie Wardy, Roger in Durham, Keith Morrisoff, Amanda Hug and Kiss, of course, in the night of Norma, Dave C, Claude Buttock, that can't be right.
Can't be right.
Barry Webster, Scruffy Collar, Seymour Butts, yeah.
Yes.
Preston in Yorkshire, no it isn't. Ed Rothergammon and Alan Jenkins all suggested clips that were...
Depends on what you want to do. If you want to obviously build like a vocal point where you can build off Chris Martin, he's one of the best, arguably even now still in the division when it comes to holding the ball up and bring his others into play. But then obviously Jack Marriott, I've seen him play wide right, and that's not his position. He's a poacher. He's someone who likes to get goals by playing centre forward, but he's not necessarily someone you can build off of. So you have to pick and choose games with him. And obviously I've seen Waghorn play wide, and I've seen him do okay. So I think he can play out there. But I think if you need a vocal point and someone when